Hi, I'm Dave, founder of Halloween Year Round. I am here once again with Gabe, the Delco Dork.
The Delco Dork.
And happy Friday the 13th. It's of course Friday the 13th, or I wouldn't be wearing this mask. For the longest time, I thought it was ha ha ha.
That's a big Mandela effect.
A lot of people think that.
But the composer said that it's based off of Mrs. Voorhees in a trance hearing Jason say, kill ma, kill ma. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although they did do a variation for 5.
They did.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, is this guy really going to wear this mask for the entire video? The answer, of course, is no, because otherwise I would lose roughly 5 pounds of sweat through my face. So, on this Friday the 13th, we're talking about the thing that everybody loves about this franchise, about any slasher franchise, the kills!
The kills, baby!
Jason is first and foremost a killer. Out of all the slashers in history, he has the highest body count. If you go by sheer numbers.
Not anymore.
Oh, who beat him?
Your favorite movie in the Blumhouse trilogy.
Not my favorite. Well, for
the Blumhouse trilogy.
Oh, well, for a long time he had the record, and hopefully he can get that record back again soon with a new movie.
Which would be the 13th if we can finally do that. It would actually be Friday the 13th.
13. So, as much as it kills me that there's only 12 movies, and it kills me that Jason is kind of just sitting in the grave, not being resurrected accidentally by Tommy Jarvis, all we have to go on are these kills. And today we're counting down our top 10 favorites.
Starting off at number 10 is the chiropractor bread from Freddy vs. Jason. I think it's a pretty kick-ass one. Like, Jason just repeatedly stabs the guy in the back and just... And then... That's awesome.
There are some days that I feel like my back just needs, you know...
We're getting old, folks.
We're getting... No, I love how...
Body contortion is always cool, especially when Jason has his, like, crazy mad strength.
And that's the one that, in that movie, Jason's just like a tank.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's like a mindless zombie just mowing through people.
I just love the brutality of it.
Solid kill as far as I'm concerned.
Solid kill. And it's only our number 10. Number 9. The Sheriff Bent Backwards from Part 6.
Again, more body contortion. It just
I'm noticing a trend here.
It's just such a simple, awesome kill. It's just, Jason just casually, like a G, just presses the sheriff backwards, and he just breaks his back. And it's actually a really simple effect, too. The one guy's just laying backward where another guy is down in a hole, and he just has his pants there. They just match the pants. And
they didn't actually break a man's back?
No, he's just laying backwards, and the other guy's just got his legs up. It's so simple, but the sound effect is so kick-ass, too. And it's one of those things where you feel bad, because the sheriff's actually a good character. He wants to defend his daughter. And, he ain't going to do shit against him when he's just trying to bash Jason's head with a rock.
He made the mistake of being law enforcement in a slasher movie.
Pretty much.
That's, you're a goner.
But it's always cool to see, like, a blaze of glory. I mean, like, he's trying his damnedest, even though, but then Jason's like, nah. And
it serves to show just how kind of terrifyingly, freakishly strong Jason is, that he can just, like, straight up break a guy's back like Bane.
Like it's nothing. Number 8, the spear through the neck on Kevin Bacon from the original movie. I mean, this is one of the more iconic ones. I really want people to talk to Kevin Bacon about this. I saw he was on Hot Ones. I was like, somebody needs to bring it up.
For the longest time, he wouldn't even acknowledge this movie.
A lot of people just don't want to acknowledge the Fridays. How dare you?
He does now. He at least talks about how he was in it.
It's, I forget how they talked about the effect, but it's Tom Savini, so you know it's going to look good. It's just out of nowhere, and the spear comes through, and the gushing of blood, and it's just holding him there.
It's so simple, but so... like iconic and effective.
It's fantastic. It's such a good effect.
Makes me have to clear my throat every time I see it.
It's disgustingly visceral and kick-ass.
Number 7, the handstand kill from Part 3. No, I'm not going to do a handstand. But this guy kind of deserved it for showing off.
I like it when a character can be unique to where you get a perspective to where, holy crap. So this guy's just thinking nothing. He's with his girl, and he's walking on his hands, and he looks up from down under where his feet would be, and you just see Jason above you, and it just comes down with the machete. And then when you see the aftermath, and he's in 2 pieces, it's so cool. Like it's a unique kill, and I'm glad they find something with physicality where he's like, "Can you do a handstand? Yeah. All right, we're gonna have you get killed that way."
Like, imagine showing up with that skill being on your resume, and then forever being famous and connected with this kill.
I would kill to have that on my resume. Pun intended. Number 6 is the triple decapitation from Friday the 13th Part 6. This is one of my favorites.
It's a 3-for-1 deal.
Yeah, we just got some... This company of people are just going out playing a game of paintball, and Jason seemingly jumps down from a tree waiting for them because he just appears out of nowhere. He just has a machete he just acquired from ripping a guy's arm off and throwing him into a tree with a bloody smiley face. But these people are not suspecting, and then it's just one fell swoop. All 3 of their heads. Like, we now that we have Jason as a zombie, we know that he's got amplified strength. And to have that much force and just take them all out in one swoop is so kick-ass. Little known fact here, that is not C.J. Graham who's playing Jason in that scene. That daytime stuff was another guy, Dan Bradley, I believe his name is. I think he won an Academy Award for a stunt coordinator.
I mean, he knows what he's doing.
They said that there was another effect where, there was, some trigger mechanism in the knees where they would just fall down, and it was, an extended thing. MPAA, whatever. But just the sheer fact that Jason comes out of nowhere, all 3 of them in one swoop, badass.
I went paintballing for the first time just over a year ago, and I was disappointed Jason was not there.
If someone was there in a hockey mask dressed as Jason, whoever's running this would probably just no, you are banned from here.
Well, then he would just cut their head off.
All 3 of them.
Along with 2 other people. Number 5, the sleeping bag from Part 7.
I think a lot of people are going to be mad at us that it's this low, but it gets tough at the top.
It is. Honestly, from here on out, any one of these could have just easily been number 1. They're all great.
You and I were going back and forth. Which is better? Which is better?
It was tough.
And I kept saying to you, if they had kept the original...
Yes, please explain the original...
So the MPAA, much like they like to do, gets up on their ass and cuts the movie down because it's ooh, this is too violent, blah, blah, blah. So, as we know in the theater, or the theatrical, Jason just grabs her in the sleeping bag and just rams her into a tree. There's a couple swings of this where there's extra blood and viscera on it. But they said one shot of it, and I think it was a pain in the ass for Kane Hodder too, because I think he did it I don't know how many times. This thing is wearing me the hell out because I think it's at least 90 pounds that you're just swinging against this tree, and I think he did there is a time
the actress in the sleeping bag was a real trooper too.
I think there
was not a person.
There was a shot that they had. I think it's either on one of the DVD or Blu-ray releases where Kane got so fed up, and I think he just threw it to the ground and kicked it because he got so tired and worn out from it. I do like the callback in Jason X. That's funny, too. Number 4 is... Where the hell's the corkscrew? From our resident George McFly, a.k.a. Jimbo. He just celebrates after having sex. Crispin Glover, that is. He wants to celebrate with some champagne... Or no, wine. I'm sorry, wine. But he's looking around for this corkscrew. He's like, where the hell's the corkscrew? Bam! Jason's got the corkscrew, rams it into his hand, and he's standing there trying to move. Jason rams a meat cleaver into his face. And for some added bonus points to this, as cool as that is, actually I heard Crispin was just stoked to get killed by Jason. Just to cement how awesome he is. And when he's chasing the final girl later on, he's got Jimbo pinned to the doorway, so she goes under his legs, and as Jason's chasing after her, just rips him down. It's badass.
The fact that he didn't agree to be in Back to the Future 2, but agreed to be in this movie is awesome. Crispin Glover,
I know. And the way that it's shot, too, it's kind of cool. There's already blood on the machete, and they just pull away. It's a reverse shot.
It's great.
I'm sorry, not the machete, the meat cleaver.
It illustrates that Jason, all throughout this franchise, has kind of a very dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
In that, he's asking, where's the corkscrew? And that's what he stabs him
with.
And somewhere in another universe, Marty McFly started fading away in that picture when George McFly took a meat cleaver to the face. Number 3, Jason's death in the final chapter.
This is pretty solid.
This is the most over-the-top, brutal way to kill Jason because it was supposed to be them killing him off once and for all when this was the final chapter. And just how can you beat? You've got Corey Feldman taking Jason and sticking his face through his own machete.
He's got Jason in a trance because he's trying to remind himself of him. And she just, so he takes the machete and goes right into his eye, and there's a really cool effect on the figure. See if we can pull up a shot. Somebody has done it. I have the figure, but I got to find all the weapons. But there's a little slit in the eye, and you can fit the machete in there, and then he just slides down the blade. And it's Tom Savini effects again, so you know it's going to look good.
This was the movie he came back to do from the original, and it shows.
There's a lot of good kills in this one. Number 2 is my all-time favorite, but because we had to do a list and we had to compare and say, okay, get a consensus, I balked just because I wanted this number 1, but we agreed on the number 1. It's fine. But I love, as much as a lot of you don't love the movie, and I can't say it's great either, but I love the rooftop boxing match in Jason Takes Manhattan. It's so good. This guy just, we cement that he's got like a little boxing career when he's on the cruise ship.
He gives Jason a good fight. He gives him a run for his money.
He's got his bloody knuckles, and he's just like going at it, and Jason's just standing there, and Kane's just taking it like a G. And he's just like, take your best shot, motherfucker. And Jason just like grabs him, punches his head off, and you just see the head going down the side of the building. In the head's point of view, goes into a dumpster, and it closes. It's not only hilarious, but it's just so well executed. I love it. It's so fantastic.
The fact that they actually took a camera and threw it to be the head's POV.
They took the crappiest camera that they didn't mind damaging, just threw it down the side of the building.
And I gotta give the guy props. How many people see Jason and run away screaming? He fought. He's like, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna fight this guy. He didn't win, but he died with honor.
It was so good.
And finally, number 1, the liquid nitrogen death. From Jason X.
I had to concede because this is pretty damn awesome.
I mean, come on. Like, her whole face is frozen and just... I love how the best kills here
physicality
involve
like,
heads. And then just shatters, which I...
See it freeze, the effect looks cool, and then just bashes it against the countertop.
The best thing about this was I learned in science class in middle school about liquid nitrogen because we were using it for an experiment, and the teacher was like...
And did you bring up Jason X in the class?
No, I hadn't seen the movie yet.
Oh, okay.
So I was in class, and the teacher's like, you'd be very careful with the stuff. You know, if you put your finger in here for just a few seconds, it would shatter. It would be so frozen. And then I saw the movie and was like, oh my god, that's what my science teacher was talking about. That's awesome. It is true. It is scientifically accurate. Nothing else in this movie is, but this is what liquid nitrogen actually does. It's a terrifying element.
It is. But it's so, oh god, it's so good. It's so good. And just the frozen gore that just comes from just the impact. It's so good.
The intensity of it. It's one of the dumbest, cheesiest movies in the whole franchise. But damn, is this a great kill.
Great.
That I think this movie is best remembered for that kill.
Yeah.
But, hey, this is just our list. These are just our top 10 favorites.
We have a couple other honorable mentions.
We'll play them now. Yep. They just didn't quite make the list.
They're solid, but it's a tough list. What are your guys' favorite kills? Let us know in the comments.
Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up being brutally murdered in any of the ways we've thus mentioned. And as always, every day is, well, today, every day is Friday the 13th.